The idea of this conversation is to kind of, get a glimpse of what it takes to put together an event of this stature, this scale.
It was a passion that all of us had. Friendships that I made during that time still continues. It was not a rational decision. It was an emotional decision to say yes because we wanted to bring it back. Organizing an event of this sort, you face multiple adversities to it. Don't worry, we'll pull it off. I'm like, boss, I don't know how I'll pull it off, but you're saying that the team will pull it off. You will pull it off.
Welcome to a small conversation between me, Harish, and Deepu Chandran. Quick intros. I am Harish Mittal, PGP 88 and President of IIMBAA. And with me is Deepu Chandran, PGP 2010 and convener of our recently concluded, very, very successful Imbue 2025. Welcome, Deepu.
Thank you, Harish.
So, Deepu, the idea of this conversation is to kind of, get a glimpse of what it takes to put together an event of this stature, this scale. What goes behind the screens? Nobody knows that, right? I mean, you've seen it, you have managed it, you have run it up close. So that's the whole idea. Now, to start with, let me start with where this started, which is about 4 or 5 years ago when you were the VP of IIMBAA and I was the president, and we together were looking at how to restart Imbue because this is something which is very close to us and we're looking at how to restart. We had several failed attempts of starting, and finally last year in May, when I asked you that, hey, there's only one way to do this, is to again do it the same way that we had done the first 4 episodes, which is take on a mantle and just do it. And you said yes. What made you say yes?
I think if I had known what it takes to do it, maybe I would not have said yes at that point. But jokes apart, I think 2015, 2016, 18 and 19, when we pulled the event off, I think it was massive. Being part of the team in 2015 was one of the best moments of being part of IIMBAA. The friendships that I made during that time still continues.
You're including me in that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So Imbue was an emotion, right? So it was a passion that all of us had. So not having Imbue during the last 4 or 5 years was definitely a gap in the entire gamut of things that IIMBAA did. We did a lot of things, right? So as I was a trustee for about 3 years. During that time, we expanded IIMBAA to multiple chapters. We launched a new IIMBAA alumni portal. We launched a new club. There's a lot of things happened. But having said that, not having Imbue felt like a real gap. And it is not that we didn't make sincere attempts during that time. We tried to, because we knew the toll it takes on teams to pull this off within the alumni community. We tried to get it outsourced to an event management firm. We tried to work with a media firm to do it, and none of that worked. And at one point, we also tried to make a women-led team to do it, right? So all of that, so multiple attempts were made, and in fact, not having Imbue felt like a gap. And when you ask me, I would say more it was emotions that led to saying yes at that point. And I think there are a lot of things that you wouldn't say yes to if you think it in a calculative fashion, right? If you slice and dice it, what it takes to do it, how much time and effort and people you have to pull it in, maybe I wouldn't have said yes at that point. But it was a good decision in the end. Yeah.
No regrets.
No regrets. Yeah.
6 years, by the way. The gap was 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah. And that's what made it so much more difficult. When you finally said yes, went back home, did you feel excited or did you feel like, oh shit, terrified? What did I say yes to?
It was a so today when we look back, I think we can rationalize a lot of things. But at that point, a lot of people who were involved with the first four editions of Imbue asked me point blank, why did you even commit to doing it? Right? So because all of them knew what it takes and what kind of time and effort goes into doing it. Right? So and the only thing that I could tell them was that it was not a rational decision. It was an emotional decision to say yes because we wanted to bring it back. And if you look at it, I think one of the reasons why some of them also rallied to working together was also because of that emotion. For example, Rajiv Raghunandan, right? So without him, I would say the entire program's team, he acted not as a mentor and guide to the team, but also to the entire crowd of people who came together. So with him, the conversation was simple, right? You suggested speak to Rajiv, speak to Shashank, speak to many people who were involved in the first interview. I went to Rajiv's office, right? So I knew that he is not an easy person to convince because I have known him for the last 10 years. He's a very good friend. I went to him and his point blank question was, why are you doing it?
Why are you doing it?
Why am I doing it? Right? So the only answer that I could give, which I think convinced him was, or rather made me feel that convinced him, was the fact that this is a property that we created, and if we don't do it this time, then it is difficult to pull it off later, and this is a chance for us to do it, and I don't want this brand to die down, because there is a lot of emotions attached to this brand and the value that it brought to a lot of alums over a period of time. So all of that put together, he said, okay, if that is the reason, I think that reason sounds legit and valid, right? Because it was the same case with him. So he said that, okay, then let us do it. So the first term, if you look at it, during our first term, like I said, we did a lot of things together. If during that term, if there was one regret that was left, was that we couldn't bring back Imbue. And this was a chance to correct it and redeem the brand and bring it back. So I think that was the chance at which I jumped. So I think that is
you had refused to take on the VP ship in the second term.
That's primarily because I want, because see, if you said May is when I said yes to doing it, right? So it was also a very, very busy period for me from work perspective, right? So the reason why I didn't take up that at that point second term was because of how, because I knew how work would turn out, right? It was a busy period, lot of changes were anticipated, lot of things we were trying to do. So that is the reason why I didn't take that up. But when you asked Imbue, one of the things that you said was that I will not hold you if the efforts are not started immediately, right? You have time, right? You have time till December, January to start working on it. So till that point, if you say yes, then you said that you will have that mind space that this will happen. And I will not hold you if you do not do, you do not get the things moving during the first 6 months. And I also told you frankly that I will not have any time during that first 6 months.
Totally agree.
I think that is what at that point made me think, okay, there's a chance to do it. Two, you were also aware of the time constraints that I had during the first 6 to 8 months, and you were also understanding in that respect, saying that during that time, I can do what
take
is
a back
required,
seat
take a back seat, and then work on it. So all of that put together, I felt that if we can bring it back, it will be a stellar thing. And so that's the reason. Not taking up VP did not have anything to do with it.
Of course, first 6 months may have been at a first gear, but then after that, I know it hit the third gear and fourth gear and the overdrive very fast. How was the experience of the last 15 months?
I think one of the things about, if I were to compare, because I was part of the first Imbue, and then to an extent, in the Imbues after that, at least during 15 and 16 to an extent. But 15 was the event where I was
the first one too.
Was the first one where I was deeply involved. So one of the main differences between that Imbue and this Imbue was that there were a lot of physical meetings that we had during 2015, right? So most of the team was Bangalore based. All of us met together multiple times during the run up to the event at Century Club, where you very graciously and happily hosted all of us, and we had a gala time preparing for it. This time, I think if you look at the team from 2015, we had 3 volunteers who were common, right? From 2015 team and this team.
This team,
you,
yeah.
I mean, I'm including you,
Yeah.
you, me, and Rajiv, right?
Yeah.
And between the first 4 Imbues, if you see, there were 6 people who were involved to an extent, right? So then Shashank, Subodh, Manju, from the 4. So that means that, and we had close to 30 volunteers who were active, and then extended team of another 10 people. So it was like out of 40 people, you had only 5 people who were very actively involved, who had a connection to previous Imbues. And another difference was that a lot of teams were working remotely. So the entire registrations team was based out of Hyderabad. Harshad, who was leading the entire sponsor effort, was based out of Pune. The media team was based out of Bombay, right? So good thing is that COVID taught us that you don't need to be physically present and together to work. It taught us that you can work remotely. That also ensured that we could spread the teams out, and all of these were people whom I knew. So I had a lot of known faces, support from the I knew that work will get done. They are committed. So that was exceptional, right? So sometimes during Imbue, when I said that it gave us an opportunity to reinvent the wheel, it was not a bad thing. So we got a lot of new people committed. A lot of them delivered exceptionally well. All of those were good experiences, right? Things that I'm extremely proud of, right? So
but one thing I've noticed is, as much as the first Imbue, where we made like so many new friends, and this time, while so many of them were your batchmates, I didn't know them. Yet I have made friends with them.
Correct.
Right.
Absolutely.
All your plus minus 1 batch, 2 batches, and some of the even 21, 22, 23 batchmates.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And we didn't even meet so many times.
Absolutely.
And yet we made friends. So how is it like friendship has also moved online?
Good way. So I think that is one good part about organizing the event, right?
Yeah.
So if not for the first Imbue, I would not have known you. I would not have known Saif. I would not have known Raja. A lot of people from 1980s batches. That was a unique experience. And then 2000 batch, right? So they were actively involved during the first 4 Imbues. A lot of them became very good friends, whether it is Vishal or Rajiv or Naveen, 1999. So all of them became very good friends during organizing Imbue. So this time, we made a conscious choice to have a lot of new folks inducted, right? It is also from the point of view of it's a new Imbue that is coming on. Didn't want a team which had doubts about how Imbue should be, right? And also clouded by what happened and what can happen, right? So we looked at it as an opportunity. So if you look at it, 2009, 8, 9, 10, and 11 were the number of batches that were represented most in the
your plus minus 1. That's what I mean.
Plus minus 1 or 2. So that was an exceptional experience, and sometimes it felt. You made friends with all of them because they look up to you because of the energy that you bring to the table, irrespective of whatever, right? So it is like you're like a elder brother that they could run up to. Sometimes it irritated me. I mean, so honestly, right? So I mean, it is like I am telling.
Nobody came and complained to me. Come on,
not complain, not complain. So when I am giving a direction, they would try to cross-check it with you again. I'm joking, jokes apart, but then, and I think it was a good equation, right? So if I had to say no to something, I would push them to you.
You'd fire from my shoulders.
Yeah, so I would push them to you. So it was a good experience for everybody. And
so this for record, all those firing from my shoulders were by you.
So I think friendships are always made during Imbue, and I think that is one good thing about organizing an event. And it cuts across batches, it cuts across years, it cuts across programs. That I think happens. It just happens, right? Because you're working together, and these are friendships that only get formed when you are faced with an adversity together. I'm not saying this was an adversity, but organizing an event of this sort, you face multiple adversities together. Right?
Smaller ones.
Yeah, smaller ones. Yeah. So one speaker drops out, one sponsor does not say yes. All of that, those small adversities also bring you together.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah,
you're solving a problem together.
Yes.
At any point of time in these 15 months, did you come to a point like I came in the first Imbue? in 2015 in
I'm
September.
aware of it.
You are aware of this.
Yeah.
Almost said to that let's shrink it to the auditorium in the institute and let's get it done with. Yeah. But did you at any point of time in these 15 months or last 12 months come at a point where you said, oh my God, are we going to be able to pull it off, or do we need to rethink it?
Multiple points, right? So it is not just one. So I think this time when we started Imbue, unlike 2016, 2017 and 18, where we had the comfort of having a title sponsor
and a momentum,
this year we were trying to bring that all back.
And title sponsor had said no to start with.
Yes, and the title sponsor who was there at that, I mean, during the first last 3 editions, right? I'm talking about
all 4.
Yeah. So first event, anyway, it was a tough nut to crack. After that, they were there for the next 3 events, so which provided a lot of comfort for the team. The resources are there. So this time you had to bring resources also on the table, which was not an easy task, right? And the scale of the event had significantly gone up, not just because of the commitments that we made and we wanted to expand the the space that is available, but also because of the inherent costs of organizing an event. I mean, what was available at maybe,
prices are 2x post-COVID.
Prices have gone up.
Yeah, 2x.
So all of that put together, didn't want to run an event which would end up making a loss. Right? That was one point. And
so we'll come to that later, that loss part.
So, I mean, we were staring at it for a long time, right? So, and I think it was not once or twice, but I would have called you multiple times without telling you that, boss, maybe it is a good decision not to do it. I would not have spelt it out.
No, you didn't. But it was playing on your mind.
It was playing on my mind,
but
right?
I didn't want to read it.
Right. I think that was a good thing about you, right? So every time I called you, you're like, don't worry, we'll pull it off. I'm like, boss, I don't know how I'll pull it off, but you're saying that the team will pull it off, you will pull it off. And I felt that you had too much faith in the team and me than I had at that point. Right? And as days progressed, we narrowed the gap one by one. The registration started picking out. The program started coming together. So all of that put together, I think it finally felt that we might be able to put the entire thing together. But yeah, it is not once, multiple times during the, I wouldn't say 15 months, but the last 6-7 months felt that it may be a tough nut to crack this time, because we moved the venue, we moved to a significantly larger venue, we changed the event management firm. So all of that put together, multiple moving parts were there, and
the only thing that was constant was the faith.
Yeah, I think that's thanks to you.
You earned it. You earned the faith, boss. I remember 2015.
Yeah,
when I forced you to remember this.
That was a fight. That finally.
That you have to demo.
Correct. No, that I still tell people, right? So the first time when we spoke, you still remind me that it was a fight. So you are a micromanager at that. I mean, so this time you didn't micromanage. I mean, I would say that that time you wanted to exactly know how each of those work.
That time I was the convener. This time you were the convener. You were the micromanaging.
So at that point, I think, I don't know. So you want to talk about that story?
I mean, you should talk about it. I mean, I remember that I asked you to dry run the registration process in your office.
So you asked me, are you confident about that registration process? How much time will it take? And I said that, boss, you have trusted me with this. You just leave it to me. And incidentally, when you called me, I was doing a dry run in my office with all my employees, trying to figure out how much time it would take. How can you move it seamlessly? And you were like, do you know this will take 3 minutes? I said, I am telling you, it will take only 30 seconds. And how do you know? I'm like, I'm doing it here. And you didn't trust me at that point. So that was the first fight. I mean, I had to point blank tell you that, boss, if you have trusted me with something, just leave it. I will do it. And then you were not satisfied till I sent you a video. Right? So so I think that was the moment when.
That's how you make friends,
yeah. Absolutely.
Friends who last so many years.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the event now. Those 2 days. I know the pressure days, right? I don't know what time you slept, or did you sleep at all? How did those 2 days go? Any memories from that?
Yeah, I think the day before,
The night before.
the night before, when we were at the hotel, there are several moving parts, right? So the stage has to be set, the team has to ensure that registrations happen on time, people are in the hall during that day, and there were a lot of moving parts. The stage from the previous event had not been disbanded on time.
Yes.
All these are operational issues that happen. And more importantly, one of the key speakers who were supposed to come on that day, I mean, it was very nice of him to have called and informed that he may not be in a position to come. So the question was whether he should come online, and he was, or still try to come physically. Right? So at that point, you said, in case he's, planning to do it online, let us give him that opportunity, because it will at least elevate the level of the content. But it was not an
And
easy.
it was not. It was primarily not to tax him. I mean, he's a respected guy,
Correct.
gentleman
Yeah.
who's calling to tell you at 10 p.m. So
And
that shook you up.
that shook me up, right? So that was the first keynote, right? And
So it was so important to you.
it was so important to me, and we had personally gone uninvited, so I felt that there is no way in which that would fall apart. Right? There are several other things that did not fall in place. Somebody who backed out, we had to replace all this. I was not expecting that will happen. And normally, but I think him personally calling was such a nice gesture, right? And at that point I could feel that he wanted to come. And when I said, without you the event will not be the same, he even offered to come, right?
Yeah.
Even though he
told me that.
yeah. So I think that was nice of him. But yes, that actually created a lot of stress in my mind. But there are things that you can't control, right? So, and on the morning, right, when I didn't expect people to start coming at 9, because always, in the previous imbues also, finally, the event would start at about 10:30.
Yeah.
But we had delegates coming in by about 9 o'clock. And because the previous night we got the entire stage, the previous stage removed only by 2, the stage work was happening, till about 6-7 o'clock in the morning. So everything fell in place in another next 15-20 minutes. But during that time, it is crazy, right? So that day evening, when people saw me, good to see a smile on your face. When we saw you in the morning, we were like completely worried in what state you were. But I mean, it was like, couldn't sleep that night, right? So I think that would have been the case with many of the organizing team. There were people who went and looked at what was happening at 2 o'clock and reporting. At 4 o'clock, I was messaging, and somebody replied to my message. Anand Gautam, I remember. At 4 o'clock, I'm an early riser, so I messaged at 4 o'clock. And 4:15, he replied. I was like, "How are you awake?" Right? So I am awake.
Many of us awake that night, I guess.
Many people were awake, right? And from
each one not telling the other that I'm awake.
5:15, Srijit messages me saying that, is there an update? No, I think many of us did not sleep that night, and it was only natural, because everybody was trying to work together to get the event going. And so by the time the event started on that day, by afternoon, I felt that teams had come into a rhythm.
Okay,
right.
So it took till afternoon for you
to realize that.
okay.
Realize then I was like, okay, now there are, I mean, whatever be the case, I think people will manage it. Right? Till that point, I think there was worry, tension, and all of that. But by afternoon, the programs were happening seamlessly. Everybody was happy, and there were a lot of people who came and congratulated many people in the team, saying that the stage is grand, the event is going well, the sessions are good. And by the end of the day, what told me that the event had completely taken off was the completely filled audience. This completely filled hall. It is a 14,000 square feet hall, and it was jam packed for the last session of the day
at 7:30,
7:45.
Yeah.
7:45. So the first there was media. There was TV channel in the room. Krishna Kumar, who was the anchor, he had to rush out to catch his flight at 9:30. So I had to assuage him and tell him that you will still be able to manage to catch the flight if you leave at 8 o'clock. We had an Innova, and Manju had arranged an Innova outside, standing, to ensure that the moment he gets off the stage, he can rush off to the, or he messaged me after reaching the airport and after reaching Delhi, that he had no, hiccups, and he managed to reach. At that point, at 8 o'clock, when the session was getting over, the audience was the auditor. I mean, the entire hall was packed, and there were people in. And this is, and even after startup stalls outside, people interacting with startups outside. That was an amazing feeling, right?
Any blooper moments? Something which people don't know was going wrong.
Oh yeah,
And you knew it, because obviously you were in the middle of the cold room.
Yeah, and one of the most sessions that people were looking forward to was a session by 3-time Grammy Award winner Ricky Cage.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I mean, it was a stellar session, right? He was able to blend.
He's a personality.
Yeah, he was able to blend music, bring to life how his music tied into conservation of wildlife, environment, ecology, all of that. It was a brilliant session, right? Everybody was awed by his stage presence and how he delivered it, and what all causes he espoused, right? So it was a session that all of us were looking forward. And he had only one demand. His only demand was, when music is played, the stereo should be fully functional, right? The sound system should be stereo, right?
So he's a musician.
He's a musician, yeah. So, and before his event, we created a break so that he could test it out. When he tested it out, the stereo wasn't functioning.
Oh my God.
Oh, so, and I think he was upset, and that was his only demand, and stereo was not functioning. And to give him credit, without it functioning, maybe it would not have been as impactful. So he was very he was particular about it, and we had to get it right. So, and when he went back, he was like, next time when I try to before my talk, I'll test it out, and if it is working, then I will do it. And that put all of us under pressure, right? He was upset, genuinely upset, right? So he wanted that, and it was not there. And when Shanti came and told me, and I was like, we have to ensure that somebody apologizes to him, and it is better that somebody with gravitas apologizes to him, right? So, and assuage and tell him that we will take care of it. So I came to you, I came to Naveen. I took both of you with me to his room, and and I had to come back. So I rushed back. I left you there. So Naveen was there full time. You also.
I opened it. I left after some time. I left.
And left it. And Naveen spent time with him fully. He came back along with Ricky to the venue, and when he tested it, it worked. And
by the time he was like, okay,
by
calm
the time
down.
he had calmed, I think we also. I think you and Naveen and Shanti were able to give him the confidence that we will do it. I mean, it was just a minor glitch, and it was a stellar session. And the moment he came and tested it, it was working. He got on stage. He started his address, and I was like, thank God, this is a session that everybody was looking forward to. And I think sometimes these minor moments puts you under a lot of strain. Yeah, but everybody worked together to handle it well.
So Deepu, the IIMBue is over now, right?
Absolutely.
What's the feeling like?
More than sense of accomplishment, it is a sense of relief.
All right.
Yeah, because there were, like I was saying, right, it was not an easy task to pull it off. But having said that, even today, there are messages that happen between the core team, and it is nice to see. It is most of them are celebratory messages and pulling each other's leg rather than anything else. So this is way better than the kind of discussions where you have to do this, we have to get this message going, we have to send this mail, this person has to be contacted, all of that, right? So today it is like, okay, I mean, incidentally, today's Wordle was IIMBue, right? So I don't know, Archana was the one who posted it for
Yeah,
the
somebody
first time.
posted it and then instantly it went viral, man.
So so Archana was part of the team that went to the institute to
Okay.
talk to students. It's a very so she was the one who posted Bangalore volunteers group first, saying that look at the word today.
Okay.
Right? So in my house, Nirupama and Raghav, both of them do Wordle very very diligently every day.
Okay.
So once in a while, I also do. So normally that happens during the end of the day, right before Raghav goes to sleep. So today morning, first message that I see from Archana was about do the Wordle
today.
I haven't. So
Do you do Wordle normally?
I do once in a while. Yeah. So because when
somebody
I used
prompts
to
you.
do, yeah. So when
So how many tries did it take you to get?
the first, so I have a standard word of that I start. The second word also, I tried from there. Third word, I understood when I realized two letters. Yeah,
the connection.
So the third letter I understood. So yeah,
it's surreal.
Yeah, the
complete surreal. I mean, just imagine that time. New York Times putting the word 5 days after Imbue.
Yeah. This word, I'm surprised that it had not come before.
It's not a very usual word, right? I mean, it's not a very common word.
Yeah.
It is a fairly, what do you say, lexiconic word.
Yeah. But they have tried a lot of unusual words in the past.
But
so
this is serendipity. Yeah, this is like amazing.
Absolutely.
This coming in within a week of Imbue.
Yeah.
You mentioned about Raghav and Nirupama finding it on Wordle, but they also found you missing for a long time during the run up to the Imbue.
Absolutely. So there was a time.
What was this?
Yeah. So it is not just so during this time. My in-laws also happened to be in town,
and right? You had medical emergencies in the family.
So a lot of things were going on, right? So it was not easy when somebody is not available throughout the day, right? So morning starts off with a call, message, and then it goes on. So incidentally, Subodh and Lokesh came home one day, and my father-in-law was like, "Yeah, I know you. I know Subodh. I know Tony. I know Srijit." So then Subodh asked him, hope you have heard good things. He was like, "No, I only heard your name." And after that, there is a tirade of things that, there is a big conversation. So he didn't have the time to tell who the person is. So I've only heard your names. But he knew everybody.
He knew all the names.
He knew all the names, right? So he knew. So you have met him. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So yeah. So I think now they might.
And how do they feel now?
I think they're relieved that Imbue is over. more time
for them
with Raghav for that matter. So,
but believe you me, in a couple of years,
no,
they will see it very differently. Can I tell you my story here?
Yeah, please. Of course, I wanted to.
You wouldn't believe. 2016, Avi has been out since 2013. You know that he has not been in India. So 2016 was it? 2016 Imbue. He happened to be in India. It was in summertime, or was it 2018? 2018, I think. So he was in India, and when Imbue happened, I dragged him to the hall. He cursed me and came back. This time, he's still there, and I sent him the link, the one which we had created for the council members. I gave him the link access, saying that, hey, you asked me for it. So, in fact, it was his idea that I should have created a link for at least the core team who are not here. So that's when I asked you for the link and got it and shared it with him. And believe you me, he watched it with his cat too. And he really enjoyed it. So I'm really that way grateful to you that you pulled off an event which has brought him into the fold of Imbue.
I think today we was way too young in 2015, 16 and 18 and 19.
Probably so what Raghav is, or little older than.
Correct. So for him to appreciate an event of this stature and the conversations that are happening on stage, that may have been way too. He may have been way too young at that point, right? So today is the right time. So good that he watched. good that he watched. I mean, I think
Yeah, after all, I mean, see, the family suffers a lot, right?
Correct.
I'm sure your teammates also would have told you.
Absolutely.
You're not there. Dinner time, you're on the call.
Correct.
Right. All of this suffering,
Yeah.
um, they also become extended Imbue team.
Absolutely. I think it is for a lot of people who, a lot of people were very, very deeply involved, right? So, and many of them had very, uh, very busy schedules in office.
Yeah.
So,
There's a third job.
this is kind of like you come back home and it is not relaxation time. You're back on a call, and sometimes the calls go on till 10 in the night, right? So
Yeah.
it would not have been easy for a lot of people and their families. You know, uh, uh, Tony Srijit was traveling. Tony was, I mean, the work environment was extremely stressful for him. And Nidhi is running a startup, so everybody, right? So they had to come back, and and this became kind of like the second job, right? Second priority for many of them. I mean, most of us. So that would not have been easy for
Some
us.
even first.
Yeah,
I can see you.
yeah,
For a while, it was like the first job.
yeah.
Everything else becomes secondary.
Yeah.
If you have to do it all over again, will there be one thing you would like to change?
Do it all over again?
No, no.
Absolutely.
Okay. In that hypothetical situation, okay.
No, I think one good decision was to move to a space which was much larger. I think if there is a way in which the entire all delegates can stay at the venue, I think that would have been stellar. Right? Today, yes, a lot of people, I mean, close to 250 people stayed in the hotel, right? But having said that, or more, right?
More.
So, yeah. But
if all 1,000 could stay,
then the gala dinner would have been, so people would not have to travel back.
The experience would have been much more immersive, I guess, in that sense. Yeah. So maybe that's certainly something we should think of in the next one, or the one after that. In fact, now that Imbue is back, it's here to stay.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think that was the entire purpose of doing it again.
Now again, we have built the momentum.
And now I feel, I mean, it was very exciting to see a lot of people coming and saying, I want to be part of the next Imbue.
Absolutely.
Right. And I'm telling you, a lot of efforts that we put in this year, whether it is to reach out to speakers or sponsors, or even for registration. Even after 6 years, this has been the largest number of delegates, largest number of people who have attended an Imbue ever. So all of these have created momentum, and a lot of people from that set have already said that they are looking forward to the next Imbue. That feeling is amazing. So I think now the stage is set for Subodh and team to
build the future ones.
Yeah, and the future ones. But
where do you see it 10 years from now? So this is the 10th year.
This is the 10th
we started
year.
In 2015. 2025 was the 10th year, and the comeback in view.
Correct.
2035. What do you see? What do you imagine? I mean, it's a wild trip.
I think 2035, if I were to visualize, right?
Yeah.
An international location, Imbue in, say, Europe, Dubai, Singapore, US for that matter, with alums flying from different parts of the world to attend Imbue, and having a stellar event there. I think that is where it can be even earlier than that. It need not be 2035. But having said that, I think if I were to say one thing,
just a future Imbue.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, what could be different? International location, yes, and
open canvas for teams to paint. As far as the event is concerned, I think there's a lot of freedom for people to figure out how the event can shape in the future. If it were one thing that I necessarily think 2035 should be an international location.
That's a benchmark.
Yeah. And now we have a lot of chapters abroad. So remote working is also possible. A lot of chapters coming together to doing it. This year we had a start, right? So it was not Bangalore doing it, it was multiple chapters internationally. Also few people were involved, but more there should be a bidding for Imbue at that point, right? So
Absolutely.
chapters should bid and figure out who wants to do it, right? So I think that is where the property has to move. And yeah, so what is your visualization of what Imbue should? I think a lot of us carry that nostalgia about the first Imbue, right? First Imbue, the conversations.
First love is first love.
Yeah, absolutely. The conversations that we have had in Century Club, the naming of Imbue, even the conceptualization of the club during that time, all of
Immediately
that,
after the Imbue, it's all everything fell place.
all of that uh, still give that nostalgic feeling, right? So, and as the first Imbue convener, if I were to ask you, was this Imbue what you thought would be?
In terms of expectations, to be very honest, I would have been very happy, even if that Imbue, this Imbue as a comeback Imbue, happened at somewhere around the scale of where we uh, ended it before COVID, right? It's a comeback Imbue. I know it was difficult to bring it back. So momentum is not there. That itself takes for a lot of stuff.
So there we have exceeded the expectations.
So in all of those counts, larger location, we had the guts to move location, number of attendees so many more, quality of sessions, number of speakers. In every count, we have grown bigger and better.
Absolutely.
Right. So absolutely, for me, this is well beyond expectations. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking about pipe dreams here. I'm talking about, I know the effort that goes in, and I've seen the effort that you guys put in.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of the results were like just the shape of the hall.
Yeah.
It's made for such grandeur.
And the effort it took to set the stage was not small. I mean, I have seen setting up of stages earlier. This stage had to be lifted and put it there because of the kind of shape. And I think Geo's team did a stellar job. But when you spoke about the efforts, right? I think there are a lot of teammates who are extremely persistent and very, very. I mean, no, I mean, not without self doubt too. But then I think they also push the needle forward. I mean, every day. Harshad, for that matter. I mean, I want to tell you this, right? Every time Harshad's phone comes, I know there is. I mean, it is like telling me something has to be done. He's like cribbing to me, saying that, boss, this is not happened. This is something that needs to be done. This person has not done this. This person has not done this. I have to do this. So it is like every time his phone comes, I am feeling jittery, right? It should be the other way around. When I call him, he should be jittery. He's my senior. He's from college.
No, but not for that. But because he was ahead of you on all those conversations. I mean, he was so spot on every conversation.
Yeah.
Man, if a couple of times when he called me that, hey, you make this call, and I asked him, give me a brief. He had the brief ready before he called me.
Correct. So it was a team that pushed the entire thing forward, and I think we're extremely thankful to them.
I can see your love for the team, which is coming out when you say this, and it is that love which has it's also pushed them to do all.
Absolutely, it is also many of them are one batch plus or minus, and we go way back, right? So and all of them came together at the right time to ensure that the event succeeds, and there was no iota of doubt that we could pull this off, and that was something which I wanted with the fresh team, right? No doubts about whether the event can happen, no preconceived notions about how event should be, right? So it was kind of like being in a position to reimagine it.
Fairly free guardrails.
Yeah, and I think that helped. Otherwise, there were several points in time people could have felt jittery, but the team was stellar. I wouldn't. You asked me what you wouldn't change.
Yeah.
Right. If I were to look at something that I would not change, is the entire team. Right? And I'm sure all of us are better experience today in handling the whatever goes into building it, and also have a lot of learnings about uh, uh, learnings about the event, and also know what we could have done slightly differently. I'm not saying very differently,
There'll
but
always be a lot of
yeah,
things which we can change, and a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
and
yeah,
team.
yeah.
Also, we have this golden rule in Imbue, right? The team has to expand.
Correct.
The ripple has to go on.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and that's what we look forward to.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
to as a parting shot, let me ask you, what would you one message which you would want to leave for your future conveners, starting with Subodh next year, and I'm sure there'll be a long list of conveners who will host each Imbue. What's a single message that you want to give it?
I think now it is easy to say, but then there has to be a lot of faith in the event and faith in the team, right? And the the ability to pull it off. If you have chosen to do it, I'm sure you will do it. I think that single unwavering faith is what is required, and the event can be what you envisage it to be, and it will get there, right? Without doubt. And today it is easy to sit here and say this. 6 months back, if you had asked me, I would have been like, there are 100 things to fall in place. How will we get this done? This team is not ready. This is not set. But yeah, so today I know that things will fall in place. It is like that statement, right? Universe conspires to ensure things happen if you desire it. And I think with Imbue, with IIMBAA, it has always been the case. So raise the bar.
Yes, that is definitely an expectation from every convener, and you have lived up to it. Congratulations. You have done a very, very stellar event.
Thank you, Harish.
And Imbue is an emotion. Deepu alluded to it, and there are members of our team who actually said it out that when we hear you guys talk about Imbue, it's not just an event. It's like almost like you're talking about something very, very close to heart. And that's how it has been. Imbue is what made IIMBAA what it is today. And it continues to be our bedrock. It's the one event where entire community can come together from different parts of the world, from different programs, and everybody comes and celebrates. So that's the emotion that we carry, and
Absolutely.
That's what makes it happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is, I think, the momentum in the association itself came through the first Imbue.
Absolutely.
Right? So it brought together a team of committed alums to work together, and it ensured that a lot of stellar things happened in this tribe. And it is also a celebration of alums coming together, right?
Absolutely. So, the power of working together.
Absolutely.
Which is the magic.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Which delivers magic each
Absolutely.
time.
Absolutely. I think this is a statement that always resonates, right? When alums of the best B school meet, magic happens. And Imbue has time and again taught us that. So again, I'm sure that a lot of excitement has come because of the event, because I can still see messages flowing in, people commenting on LinkedIn posts, people messaging personally. So
New York Times putting Imbue as the word.
I think that is going a bit too far.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah. They have put in the word. Yeah. Now, why and how?
Maybe universe conspiring again to show us the signs. But yeah, it has been a good experience.
Maybe it's the power of collective thinking of all the alums.
Yeah. Would like to believe so. But in any case, thank you, Harish. It was a
very nice talking to you, Deepu. Thank you so much, and look forward to many more conversations.
Thank you.
Over many more things.
Thank you.